was a common feature in 16th century houses. Now this one here at Sulgrave Manor is set into the wall, and on the door here we've got LW for Lawrence Washington, who built the manor house here in the 1500s, and in between the two letters is a 5-pointed star from his coat of arms. Now interestingly, we've got slits in the stonework of the fireplace which allows warm air to circulate in the cupboard to keep salt dry and damp free, because salt was important, relatively expensive, and it mustn't be wasted. Now salt, the history of salt goes back to very early times and generated riots and rebellions and taxation, and also cities and towns had their development and their importance due to salt, either because of salt production or being cited on the important salt trade routes. Salt, of course, was important to people in their diet. They were engaged in hard labour, so they sweated a lot, and their vegetable and grain diet needed the salt for flavouring, and of course salt was an important preservative pre-refrigeration. Now this cupboard is lockable, and open it, it's quite a sizable cupboard. Now you might wonder why a salt cupboard is in the Great Hall here and not in the kitchen. Well, I think Mrs. Washington would keep the salt under lock and key, measure it out each day for the day's cooking, and she might keep her important spices in there as well. Now, because salt was so important, the vessels to contain salt on your table when you dined became quite extravagant. Now, the one here at the manor is somewhat more modest. It's very simple. It is made of wood, and it would sit on the table and contain the salt for your food. And in fact, Lawrence Washington, he